Hello everybody, it's been a while. Now, of course you can tell from the title of this video that I'm going to be talking about PvP in FF14 and why I believe it's practically kinda dead and why this was bound to happen. And when I say dead or kinda dead, I'm strictly referring to the ranked matchmaking system in PvP, but I'll also talk about casual a little bit, but that'll be saved for later. Now, of course, the first reason as to why ranked is practically dead, um, I'll say it straight up, the reward system, ever since we got Crystalline Conflict, and it's not really that big of a deal anymore. Now, of course, people, when they do PvP, um, they do it for rewards, they do it for the thrill of it because you're competing against another player and there's going to be rankings involved, ladders and points, and then the top three are going to get rewarded. Now, of course, I want to add to this that communities are always formed and things tend to persist over time, but right now I'm talking about the game only. Like you queue into something and then it pops. Ranked was fairly active back when Crystalline Conflict was new and we were in the first season or second, but eventually it died off. Like nowadays, if you queue into any ranked match for Crystalline Conflict, it will probably pop if you are queuing at an active time, but more often than not, it won't. And the average queue time is going to be fairly long. At least that's how it is on EU for me, but honestly, this was bound to happen. Back in the day when the feast was, we had the old PvP system, the feast, the rewards were solely for the ranked system, and if you were not on, one of the top hundreds or something, you would not be getting the rewards. And that kind of put off the casual people from grinding out PvP. And the ranked people were, really into it. And now we have the exact opposite because you have the series pass, and by grinding casuals, you can level up that pass and get all the rewards, which include mounts, minions, emotes, armor, so on and so forth. But on the ranked side of things, all they have are, adventure plate and portrait items, and, the only thing that's left in it is the entire thrill of PvP in general. Like you're competing against another player and you're proving that you have, the greater skill. But that takes me into the second point, which basically is that FF14, and I believe you can all agree on this, but FF14 at its core is not a PvP focused MMO. Like the core aspect of this game involves PvE. Like when you think about Final Fantasy XIV, you think about MSQ, you think about its characters, its world, you think about dungeons, raids, savage, ultimates, extreme trials, so on and so forth. You think about multiple jobs that you can play on a single character. You think about role playing. You even think about, extreme rate progression. You also think about gathering, crafting, making guilds, so much stuff. And now we have even more content with treasure maps. I mean, they've always been there, but we got Blue Mage and deep dungeons. That's another side of the game, and there's just so much content on the PvE side, right? And that's what you think about when FF14 is brought up in a conversation. PvP, however, it's always been a niche element in this game. It always was, it is, and in my opinion, it always will be. Although I am happy about how Square Enix is, supporting the PvP element of this game, how Yoshi P and his team are, providing new content, new maps. Although I do not like the new map at all, but overall, as a package, Crystalline Conflict is really decent. It's a step in the right direction. Like, there's no harm in having a functional and fairly enjoyable PvP system in the game. And I'm glad we have that in FF14. But yeah, like at its core, like FF14 is a mainline. Let's not forget, MMO or not, 14 is a mainline Final Fantasy title. Mainline. They have to proceed with not only this in mind, but also the fact that this is an MMO, and it definitely needs content that is fitting for an MMO. I've always been an advocate for the reward system being, provided to given access to more players so that they can get the rewards from PvP as well. And now I believe that just a small, point that the casual environment of PvP is a lot more active because of the reward system, the series pass, and that is a really good thing. Because like I said, people form communities in games, and I'm pretty sure that there's a strong community for the rank system, the rank PvP, outside of the game. But the main player base of F14, right? They're mostly, and I know there's a negative connotation associated with the word casual, but in this context, I'm only using it to describe people who play PvP focused, content. So the point of playing FF14 is the PvE content, the world, the story, all of that. PvP is only a niche. It's there for you if you want to go into it, but that's pretty much all it is. And the fact that people can now queue up into casuals and get the rewards just by, playing matches, it's good. People who play PvP, they're primarily doing it for what? One of two things, right? It's either the rewards from the series pass, or it's because they need experience to level up their jobs. Remember when you only did frontline roulette if you either needed wolf marks or you wanted to level up your jobs. And that roulette only ever popped on the server reset. And I'm pretty sure we can all agree on that. People doing it were only doing it for those reasons, not for the sake of PvP. And that is basically the state of PvP today as well. Like, the objective is to kill and push, to wipe the team, the opponent team, and push the crystal so that they can actually win the game. And basically hold them off long enough so they can win in overtime. And the entire thing revolves around the crystal, not exactly how many kills you have on the finish screen, right? Your KDA ratio. This isn't exactly Call of Duty, so you can't make yourself look good by having 15 kills and then you lose because you never really pushed the crystal. So it's not about that. But now, well, skill level aside, I really personally don't think that the skill issue has anything to do with killing PvP, although I do feel like it may have put off some people from doing ranked on Duty Finder, because honestly, like, this is how I feel, right? I don't like losing because of someone else. Like, of course, team sports are one thing. It's all about team spirit and communicating, because then in that situation, when you're talking to your team and everyone is coordinating to accomplish the goal, if you lose, it's everybody's loss. People make mistakes and you have to acknowledge that and you have to accept it, but it's your loss as a team. Right now in Duty Finder, you queue up and get randoms on your team, and I believe that is the actual important factor that may or may not have contributed to killing the ranked matchmaking queue. Because when you get randoms, right, you don't know who they are, you don't know how they'll perform, you don't know their their level of knowledge when it comes to PvP and their job. So essentially, you don't know what's going to happen. All you can do is put forth your maximum effort and expect the best, which in most cases is not enough. And what can I say, over time it may have contributed to people just leaving the rank system, because if you're trying to rank up and get to crystal all the way, it's really not that different than progging Savage or Ultimate in Party Finder and just bashing your head against the wall hoping to get that good group that can actually observe, learn mechanics, make mistakes and learn from them. And then you get some good solid prog and eventually the kill within like 2 hours or something of PF prog, and hopefully no one leaves during that time for whatever reason. But it's not that different from that, so you have to take all of this into account. But yeah, like back when Crystalline Conflict first launched, I also made a video on why PvP will die, and I essentially said that cheaters will be the one who will contribute to, the entire thing. And I personally believe that it may have contributed to the entire situation, because honestly, if you're playing ranked and you do that kind of stuff, it's really gonna put you off. So yeah, like while cheating may have contributed to the death of ranked in the game, the queues, I don't personally think that it was the defining factor or the kill shot, the killing blow in general. No, definitely not. Personally, it was the amalgamation of all these factors coming together to just basically kill the game off. Not the game, of course, the ranked mode, because in the end, FF14 is PvE focused, and PvP, like, it's always going to be there, but it will be a niche. But considering the reward system, how it's working right now, I know the casual system is probably going to thrive over time, because people will keep queuing up for experience, for rewards and everything, but that has an entire different set of advantages and disadvantages. Yeah, that's about it. Pretty much my opinion on the situation of ranked. It's not fact at all, just my thoughts on the matter, but I do feel like Crystalline Conflict as a package is a step in the right direction, and I hope that Yoshi P and team will continue to support this mode and add good maps in the future, because right now the Kagane map is absolutely horrible. I just don't like it at all. My main reason for that is the vision obstruction. If you like teleport through the door, it's just not very cool for me personally. But yeah, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed watching this opinion video. If you did, make sure to show some support, and I'll see you in the next one.